Okay, here we go. And we are live with the Brown Bag Business Chat. I am here with my wonderful guest, Bridget Willard, right, of like 8 different brands. You too can be Guru, WordImpress, Give, anything else.
WPBlab.
Yes, WPBlab. And you've got WPBlab tonight, right?
Yep, 7 o'clock Pacific.
So tell me, let's talk just a little bit about that. Tell me about what WPBlab is and what you're going to be talking about.
So WP stands for WordPress, and Blab is where we are now.
Yes.
Or YouTube if you're watching later. So Jason Tucker has a show called WP Water Cooler that's filmed every Monday at 11 Pacific on a Google Hangout. So when Blab started getting really popular last fall, he's like, I think I want to start a show on Blab. And he asked his wife, who should I have as my co-host? And he said, Bridget's everywhere. Just invite her. And I was like, it was kind of a prank. I mean, he's like, he doesn't think it's a prank. I'm like, are you really sure you're asking the right person?
Well, it seems to have worked out very well. I mean, you guys are getting a lot of traction there.
6 months. It's been 6 months now. So every Thursday night, I think we only missed Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
It's fun. I actually,
it is fun. I've watched it a number of times and I love it. You guys always have great guests come on and people just pop in. It's fun.
It's crazy like that. It's kind of like, and then because I do everything backwards, I started going to our general WordPress meetup. Like, oh, this is our show. It's the same thing.
Better go talk to these folks.
No, but I mean, the topics and everything are very similar and the interactions very similar. So yeah, it's been good for me because I'm in the full WordPress immersion program.
Yeah. You are and that's why we have you talking about WordCamp today, because you are like, you're in it. You are in it 100. I'm trying to get my hands in the camera. You are in it 100%.
I'm 100% in it.
Yes. Okay. So we've got you on here. We're talking about WordCamp, which why don't you just explain, just for people who aren't familiar, what a WordCamp is and how it relates to WordPress. Okay.
So normally, if you're using WordPress or you're curious about it, you go to a WordPress meetup.
Okay.
But because I do everything backwards, I went to WordCamp Orange County in 2013. I'm wearing the shirt. Here's the glass. WordCamp Orange County, yo! Actually, we wanted to meet. We had met Pam from Pam and Marketing. We went on vacation together, a bunch of us Twitter girls. And she was going to come out to Orange County to go to WordCamp. And so so Carol and I are like, yeah, we'll meet you there. What's WordCamp? She said, doesn't matter. It's $40. Just go.
There you go.
Yeah, I think it's $20 a day is the rate. So if it's
Sounds
2 days,
right.
yeah. So anyway, WordCamp, before I didn't know, but I just wanted to meet my friends. So that's actually a good way to describe it in some ways. That's not the official description. But,
right.
Your friends are there, and they're talking about things that you want to learn.
WordPress related.
WordPress related, or marketing or blogging. See, we were bloggers. And Carol had her site on WordPress. And I had .com, blogs. So why not?
Yeah.
So WordCamp is like the WordPress version of a trade show / conference.
Okay.
So if you're just a person who wants to learn about WordPress, this is a great place to go. You can learn about design. You can learn about developing, PHP, whatever else they talk about, CSS,
all the codes.
JavaScript now, the REST API, building plugins. It depends.
It's not just coding. Like you said, you were a blogger and you went there, and so there was stuff that you were able to learn that applied that wasn't directly about building things in WordPress. So you were able to look at it from a blogging standpoint, and there's lots of bloggers who go there and speak. Right.
And every WordCamp has its own flavor.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just going to say that because it's a nuance. Like San Diego tends to be more advanced, which is the home of the advanced WordPress.
Makes sense.
Group. I mean, it just depends. I mean, the WordPress meetup is very advanced for that group, and they so the WordCamp on Saturday has a plugin track, a developer track and a design track. So that's very, in my opinion, that's advanced, intermediate to advanced.
Yeah.
So, which is actually 2 weeks. Woohoo! I'm doing social media for it. Anyway,
oh my gosh, we're ready to go. You got a blab and everything.
So, anyway, yeah, like, so I went to Orange County and they had a bunch of different classes on. That's what I mean. It depends on the actual organization group and how what their flavor is, their mix, their dynamics, what they think is important. But yes, we did take a lot of classes that were applicable. There's generally a business track, and that's for anybody, because if you think about it, a lot of people are either freelancers or they're small agencies, and if you're in WordPress, usually your skill set skews to coding,
right,
or writing. But that's not marketing.
Yes, it's not. And you know, I like that you mentioned that each one has its own flavor. We had DFW WordCamp, I want to say about 6 months ago now, but I'm bad with time. And during that, there was definitely a focus on the business aspect, and you could feel that in the different tracks.
Yeah, and Carrie Dills is a master.
Yes,
at that.
Yes, she was wonderful, and I think she either organized or
the co-organizers or the lead, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you could tell. I mean, I just read a post by her the other day about, are you sure you want to be a freelancer? Yeah. And the whole thing was kind of talking you out of it a little bit. You know, you're like, maybe I don't want to do this. Because you forget there are a lot of business aspects. So you build a plugin. Whoop-de-doo. You put it to the WordPress repository. Congratulations. Yep. How's anybody going to know about it?
Yeah. And are you going to support that plugin? What's going to happen when people have questions? Are you going to still work with it 6 months from now?
How much is that going to cost? Who's going to pay for that? So the plugin's free, the code is free, and everything's free except for your time.
Yeah, it's a heck of a hobby, you know. It's a heck of a hobby.
But anyway, so a lot of industries have trade shows. So now that I'm working for a development company that manufactures, or manufacturer might be the wrong word.
Let's say I like manufacturers.
I came from construction, so manufacturer just rolls off the tongue. Well, they build it. They build plugins. So for us, it's kind of like a trade show. I don't know if they would say that, but I would say that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's what you see at a lot of camps. Yeah, right. Because a lot of people who are going there are, people who use WordPress for business in one aspect or another. And so who else better to buy your plugins but people who are using it for their business?
I hate to be a marketer and ruin everything, but it's a target demo.
There you go. That's right? Fun. Yeah,
so
absolutely.
That's why WordCamps are very low barrier of entry with the fee, because they're heavily sponsored.
Yes.
And so that's what makes the community great. So I think I'm answering this short question in a very long way.
Oh, that's fine.
What's a WordCamp? A WordCamp is a place to learn about WordPress and meet friends.
Perfect. Exactly. No, it's fine.
I mean, that out of this live show.
I'll go back and yeah. No, I think that no, that's perfect. We keep it real relaxed on the BB show. We do whatever we want. So all right. So you've been to a good deal of WordCamps. So do you have any advice for someone who's going to their first WordCamp? Like let's say that WordCamp San Diego, right? You said it's starting in 2 weeks.
Yep.
So let's say someone wants to go to that. It's their first WordCamp. What do they do? What do they need to know?
Okay, first of all, you should have bought a ticket a long time ago.
Okay.
That's the thing. It's backwards. A lot of times in the outside of WordPress, you hear about this event, hear about this event, and then you buy tickets.
Right.
WordPress with WordCamps, it's a little different. It's you buy the tickets, then you hear about who's speaking.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be good, right? So I'm pretty lucky that I live with 65 miles south is San Diego, 65 miles north is LA. So, and then I have one in Orange County. So I have 3 WordCamps within a 65-mile radius of me.
Oh, nice.
And Vegas is 4-hour drive.
Oh, so you
haven't been there
got
yet.
A lot of WordCamps.
Yeah, so that's the good thing about being in a densely populated area.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I've only been to 5 WordCamps.
A mere 5 WordCamps.
Well,
that's a good number. That's 5 more than some people.
And then 1 virtual, because I went to WordCamp US online. I bought the ticket, so I got the shirt.
Okay.
And then this will be my, but there's
Oh, there it goes. Warned us.
Hey, knock it off. Get up, come here.
This is wonderful. I'll see if I can get Mr. Lewis over here, and he can join us as well.
Down, settle down. He's very territorial, and when my husband's gone, he barks even more because he wants to protect me.
Protecting you. That's good.
He's in apartments. I used to be like, oh, he's a really sweet dog, and I thought, no, be afraid, be very afraid. So anyway, what do you need to know? Okay, so I would say you should go with a friend. Okay, it's really hard. I'm just gonna say it was hard when I went to LA without any friends. Yeah. I mean, it's not that I don't have friends, right? But there's a big difference between somebody who will wave at you and say, "Hey, how's it going? What's up?" and then having somebody to ditch and go have ice cream with, or having somebody to eat dinner with.
Well, it's like any event. It's more fun if you go with friends. If you go to Six Flags Magic Mountain alone, you're going to be stuck. You might enjoy the rides, but in between, it's going to be a little lonely.
Yeah, and you make friends while you're waiting in line. So it's not like you don't have friends. You meet friends, but it's better to have a buddy. So normally for Orange County, Carol Steven is my buddy. Okay. Yeah. So, but when I did LA, I went there to be the social media person. So I didn't have time for friends. Right. I mean, that sounds terrible.
Well, that's what social media is
busy. No, but you are busy. I did hang out with Jen and Elizabeth and a bunch of my other friends. But I mean, it's not the same as when I go with Carol. Yeah. My whole reason for being there is to be with her and do whatever she wants to do. Yeah. So it's a hospitality thing. I don't like to invite somebody if I think I'm going to be otherwise occupied. Right. Yeah. So first of all, you could have a dedicated WordCamp buddy. Okay. That's a good thing. If you know somebody who lives in a town, like if I was like, oh, I really want to spend time with Blue Steel Solutions, then go to their WordCamp. If there's a WordCamp near people you already know online, that's a good way to intensify or develop those relationships you already started.
And that's exactly what we did with WordCamp San Diego. Right? As we came down there, we visited, we got to know you guys a lot better, saw each other in person, and we're able to really, like you said, to form a more, I don't want to say real, but like a deeper. Exactly. A deeper relationship. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, no, that's what we did. And one of these days you guys all have to come down to Dallas for DFW WordCamp.
I feel like it's inevitable because I want to see you and Frank and Heather. Yeah. And now I want to meet Randy and the other lady.
Yeah. Yeah. Cassie.
Yeah. So it's like, anyway, so tip number 1 is go with a buddy, or tip number 2 is go where you already have friends. Yeah. So you'll have to pay for airfare and stuff, but it's like you would do that anyway. Yeah, sometimes it's really great. A lot of people fly around and go to a bunch of different WordCamps. Yeah. Another tip for beforehand is to follow the people that are tweeting. Yeah. So follow the hashtag and interact with them. That way you're doing a lot of the small talk ahead of time. Yeah. That's what I do. Yeah. And then you're like, yay, selfie when we get to WordCamp.
And you've had some really interesting interactions with people on WordCamp through Twitter, haven't you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's been amazing. I got invited to a Seder dinner with Roy Sivan. Oh, wow. I mean, I'm not going to go because I'm not Jewish, but I don't want to ruin their thing. But he's like, come along. You're awesome. Yeah. Hashtag WP Jews. I was like, the people are so generous. But the truth is that we skew introverted. And so sometimes we're socially more awkward than we'd like to be. Right. That's the truth.
I hope we made that moment awkward to illustrate the awkwardness.
I mean, let's just be reality here.
And so getting on Twitter, it makes it easier to kind of break the ice at these events.
Right. Because they're like, oh, Ira, how you doing? Oh my gosh, I love those conversations we had, blah, blah, blah. You already started the relationship.
Yeah.
That's what's so great about Twitter. I think that's what people miss when they just think that Twitter is their RSS feed. I think that they miss it's such a great way to either start a relationship or continue or deepen a relationship.
Yeah.
And the relationships matter when we recommend plugins that our friends make.
Yeah. Yeah. Or we say, hey, this person can build you a website, or hey, this person has a website that has this great service that you need.
Or these people specialize in the Genesis framework. These things all matter because that recommending peers has never changed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Starting from the beginning of time, it's always going to happen, right?
Yep.
Okay. So step 1, buy your tickets early. Step 2, go with a buddy. Step 3, go where your friends are. Step 4, follow the hashtag, get involved. Some of the social media people like me make Twitter lists of the attendees.
Yeah.
So you could follow that list and find out who they are and say, oh, hi, I looked at your Twitter bio and I noticed that you are into skydiving.
Yeah.
Is that really scary for you?
And one thing I would like to point out is that if you're a lot of times people do contests on these for WordCamps and they give away free stuff. So for someone like me who's like, social interaction, okay, but free things, I like free things. I managed to get a free year of hosting for at San Diego WordCamp. And I got something else for free at another one. So yeah, there's usually a lot more going on than just, interaction.
No, I mean that just,
a mere human interaction.
Beings are so boring. They're so 1990.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's before stuff. And I would also say in the preparation, you should have your laptop, an extension cord, and or power strip.
Yeah.
We learned that from Aaron Hockley. Hockley? Yeah. I always forget how to say people's names.
Oh, me too.
Sorry, Aaron.
It's Bridget Willard, I believe.
Yeah, Willard. Williard. Sounds French.
Yeah.
Bridget Willard. So anyway, because it's like he calls it a friend maker, and that broke the ice for Carol and I a couple of times.
Yeah.
Oh, can I plug into your power strip?
Yeah.
And at LA, that's what happened to me. I was too far from the way the power was crazy, and I just tweeted out, "Oh crap, my whatever," and so Robert Gilmer just came over to me because he recognized me and he took my laptop and plugged it in. And I was just like, this is awesome.
And you wrote a blog post about this experience.
Yeah. Never underestimate the power of an event for blog fodder.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So we're still in the beginning. So pack your backpack or whatever. Or with your cell phone, bring a charger. Yeah. An external battery. So for sure. And wear comfortable shoes. I know that you want to look cute, but seriously, there's a crap load of walking. Yeah. And you're going to be unhappy. Yeah. Carrie Lee Marucci of Found Out Photography says if you're going to be speaking or volunteering or think you're going to be photographed, wear something flattering and brush your teeth after you eat lunch. Okay. Those are her tips. So those are all things to think about. But also, so when you're at a WordCamp, the other thing is to kind of, it actually is kind of the preparation. Look at the schedule. See who you might want to listen to or what, or, you don't have to stay in a track. You can hop around. It's not like, you have a, band on. Right. Oh, yours is yellow. You can't go into the green room. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, I think that's important to talk about because it is easy to say, oh, the track, I must stay on this track. But you can go to any of they're all self-contained. So whichever one you go to, you can go to one presentation in one track and then skip to another track and come back and you're not going to miss anything. Right. Also, don't be afraid to skip a track. Yeah. Yeah. Because it's overwhelming. And especially if you're somebody who likes to think about what you just heard. But it's a good idea to get kind of an idea of what things the schedule might change. I mean, don't get all committed to it. Yeah. But have an idea. Don't be like, oh, I don't know where I'm going to go. Also, I wouldn't discount a track just because you don't like the way it's titled.
So kind of what's changed my life was accidentally being in a class.
Oh, okay. Tell me more.
At WordCamp San Diego last year, I wanted to hear Heather Steele talk about WordPress 101.
Okay.
And then I wanted to hear Jason Tucker talk about, being familiar with the dashboard. In between was installing WordPress locally. And I had no idea what that meant. Because to a non-WordPress user or to a non-computer server geek, I hear local now. I think of people that grow corn in their backyard and sell it at the farmer's market.
Locally grown WordPress.
Locally grown WordPress. But it means installing whatever it means. It's not on an actual machine that you can't see in the cloud. Like there's no cloud. It's just
it's not online. It's just on your machine.
It's on your actual machine. So it was desktop server. And I'd been saying, because I just was kind of listening, because I was going to tweet, but it was a black hole in the basement. You couldn't have any internet there. And so I accidentally started listening.
And what happened?
So he was like, well, you could just install all the PHP and whatever SQL stuff on your actual hard drive of your actual machine, and then you can do a WordPress install and build it. And I went, oh, this is exactly what I've been waiting for. So I just wanted to try it out, right? Before you commit to a server and a host and a hosting plan and the cPanel, whatever the hell goes on. That literally, everybody says WordPress isn't that easy. It really is. The WordPress is easy, but in between,
getting it over there is the tough part.
To me, the hardest part is that, like, getting a server and being on that DNS whatever crap. It's the hardest part.
It's very confusing.
I'm just saying that's like the uber geeky server nerd IT people understand that. They're like, yeah, they do that all day long. But if you're only going to buy your domain name once, I mean, and you don't know what's good hosting. But just because it's $3 doesn't mean that they support WordPress. You need to get a host that says that they support WordPress hosting, like SiteGround or Pagely or WP Engine or somebody like that. Anyway, so but that was why I was afraid of it, because I didn't want to do it and commit, and my boss didn't want to spend a lot of money on a budget.
And this gave you exactly what you didn't even know you needed. I
didn't even know it was a choice. I just kept telling Carol, I wish you could experiment with a WordPress site without doing this. I didn't know that it was an option. And it was like a revival moment for me. I wanted to walk down and accept the Lord. Because I feel like it changed my life. And I tweet out, this is an answer to my WordPress prayers. Because that was March 27th of last year. And I think by April 4 or 5, April 9th, I had my site up.
Wow.
So I had built it because I had this CSS piece of crap site I built, and then had a WordPress.com blog for work, because the blog was on WordPress.com. There's a lot of duplicated things, and so that's why it took so long. It's because I had to manually copy and paste the CSS piece of crap that I built. It was the best thing I ever did in my life, but it was still a piece. You know what I mean? Like,
it was very hard work.
It was very hard work. It took a long time.
For a child, you're like, oh, you've done so well.
Congratulations! You just skipped for the first time. But that's basically, you don't know about the serendipitous moments. So don't discount a class. I mean, it's fine to skip them, but also don't discount them. So that's two sides of the coin, right? And it's amazing because when you, like, for me, I'm pretty shy. I'm never going to walk up to somebody and say hello. I would rather jump on a zip line again. I thought I was dying. I'm just not. I want to. I think I'm going to. And then when the moment comes, something happens with my legs and they don't move.
I'm familiar.
I'm sorry. I'm really working on it. But when I'm tweeting inside the class, that's another tip. So if you tweet while you're in the class, you'll get more visibility. But it's better because people will come up and talk to you.
There you go. You don't even have to bother with all that pesky social interaction, it'll come to you.
Yeah, because it's weird. Like, to me, if somebody walks up to me, then I know they want to talk to me.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's like when you think you recognize them and somebody in the crowd and you wave and they don't even see you. And you're like,
it's the worst. It's the worst. You're like, now I have to leave. I can never come back to this.
It's so humiliating. So I know I'm getting better. I promise. But the truth is, it's not just me. And that's why I'm using myself as an example.
Yeah, yeah.
But so, again, it breaks the ice before, it breaks the ice during.
Yeah.
They'll say, wow, did you really like that class? You know, asking questions is a great way. Or where did you come from? Is this your first WordCamp? You know, when you're sitting in the class, like Carol and I were a couple of times ago, it was like our second WordCamp. So now we're not newbies anymore, right? So like, hey, is this your first WordCamp? You're really going to like it.
Yeah, right? Yeah. We've got tons of experience.
Padawan learner. But it does feel like that, you know, because then you can say, oh, yeah, pick your food truck in line or whatever. And you just never know.
That's a really good point, because people are helpful and they're nice and they're friendly. And people at WordCamp, you know, it's not like everyone's there like, well, I got to learn and I got to keep the learning to myself. You know, no one else can learn. People are there to help each other. And there's a really great community that gets together at these things.
Yeah, actually, WordPress, I feel like, because it's based on the open source philosophy, attracts generous people.
Yeah.
So if you are stingy, or if you are maybe a traditional marketer or a networker, like the push your business card in your face kind of a guy, you're going to stick out like a sore thumb. It just doesn't jibe.
Yeah, yeah.
So they do, you know, they are a generous group. I've never had anybody like not talk to me. I'm just saying, you know, I'm just neurotic. It's not actually happened.
Yeah.
It's been the opposite. You know, I feel like they're very welcoming to new people, and if you'll see the same people, you know, again and again, right? So, like for me, because I have 3 WordCamps right here, I'm seeing the same people over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So it's a continuous relationship, you know. And then when you go to the meetups, when you go to your local meetup, then that reinforces it even more. So, don't be afraid to change rooms. Russell from WordCamp Las Vegas says he purposely didn't name the tracks. He purposely didn't make it a track.
Yeah.
He had 2 rooms. He did not want people. He wanted people to move. Yeah. Because in that act of moving, it facilitates the discussion and the conversations and the hallway track.
Yes.
So the hallway track is like the animal style burger at the In-N-Out.
Okay.
It's for the secret menu, right? They call it the hallway track just because you're in the hallway and people start talking.
Right.
That's the networking part.
Yeah.
It's not really a forced networking event. You know, but what I like about it from a socially awkward standpoint is that because it's a classroom setting, the content helps with the conversation. Yeah. So when you leave, you could go, oh my gosh, I never thought about blah, 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 blah. What did you think like that? Have you tried that?
Yeah.
Do you think you're going to use Google Analytics like that now? And wow, Chris Lemma talked about not being the hero of your own blog. How is that going to affect how you write?
Yeah.
Do you think I write too much in the first person? Maybe I do. Maybe I'm not thinking of my audience. And then all of a sudden you have these great conversations that reinforce the content from the actual session.
Yeah.
Another thing is, I know you had like 17 questions. I'm sorry, I didn't memorize them.
This is perfect. It's much better. Less work for me.
So, Bridget talks so much. I can't believe she died. I just get weird with crowds. It's a crowd thing. Yeah, I love everybody.
There you go.
But yeah, that was a really good experience for me. Just realizing that as I was tweeting, people would come up to me and say, wow, thanks for all the tweets. And I had a really great moment with Carol and Mike Hansen from Bluehost. And he was giving this great class on Google Analytics. And that's exactly what he did. He said, thanks for all the tweets. And I said, that was a really good class. I never knew that you could email yourself reports and da-da-da-da-da. And then we ended up having this great conversation that gave me a good idea, because at the time I was working for the contractor, and we were building a building, and they wouldn't let you have a sign. Really? So we started talking. Yeah, some cities are weird like that. They won't let you have a sign saying that we're building this. So lame.
Got to keep it secret.
Yeah, they just won't let you advertise. Weird. It's really whatever. So we came up with the idea while we were standing there in the hallway track to use the address as a hashtag on Instagram, geolocate. So I started going there every Monday and taking pictures, and then geolocating and using the address as a hashtag.
Yeah.
And it was great. And then I used hashtag Irvine won't let us use the sign. So it's not even just WordPress. You're talking to some of the smartest people on this planet. They are not paid. They are volunteering to speak.
Yeah.
So here's some. So we talked about actually attending, but another way you could get more involved is volunteering. So the volunteers, obviously they get a free ticket, but that's not why you're doing it.
It's like $20 value sometimes.
It's not that big, but what you're doing is you're putting yourself in a situation where you know what your role is. So you're part of a team. You're going to make new friends. And actually, when Alex Vasquez asked me to do the social for WordCamp LA. Because I just never would have volunteered. I never would have thought about it.
Right.
But I met so many more people. And because I was there early, and because I had to take pictures of the speakers, I got to meet the speakers. And I mean, not deep interactions, but like, hey, can I take your picture? And it made it easier to be social. But also, the camaraderie of working together really hard on a really neat weekend, and then watching people's faces. I remember on the Sunday of WordCamp LA, just walking into the venue, feeling elated. I was so happy because I realized I'd finally found where I belong. These are my people. And it was the most amazing feeling. And I don't think that I would have felt like that if I hadn't been volunteering. Because you, even doing the social media, which isn't face-to-face until the actual event, you interacted with the community more. You got to know who they were. You got to know what they like, and so that helped you really get a feeling of who you're with. So there's so many ways to volunteer. I mean, the parking lot, helping out with the after party, and
helping setting up too.
Registration. Video's a big need always, either filming it or uploading it, helping do the audio. There's always things that if you have skills, or if you're good with people, definitely with the greeting and the registration, because you're the first face they see when they come to a WordCamp. So volunteering is a great way. And then, of course, you can volunteer to speak. You can apply to speak, right?
You may not be accepted, but you can volunteer.
Right. You can volunteer to apply.
But I think that's good, because some people have, more to contribute, more experience. They've maybe been doing some of these things for a while, and it gives them time or the ability to really get involved and talk to a lot of people.
Well, right. I mean, the whole thing with learning, and you know this because you're a teacher, what do we know? We're lifelong learners, right? Not any different in WordPress. So the code is changing, the PHP is changing, CSS, JavaScript, blah, 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 whatever. They found a different way to hook this or fork that. And so what's happening is you have built your business, whether you're a freelance developer or whether you are a plugin developer or whether you develop themes. The truth is that your business is built on something that's free. And that's why Matt Mullenweg asked people to give 5% back. Now he's talking about core. But also, all these WordCamps are great opportunities to give back. It's not just giving back by volunteering, but you can give back by teaching what you've learned. And what they always say is you're always 10 steps ahead of somebody, right? You know something that they don't. Maybe you don't know something more than Alex Vasquez or Chris Lemma, but you know something more than the person who just found out what WordPress is.
Yeah.
Doesn't know the difference between .org and .com yet. So you have lots of opportunities to share your knowledge. One of the great classes I went to last year was with Chris Ford. He said, you don't have to code to give back.
Yeah.
To contribute. You can write and you can teach.
Absolutely.
So you can. A lot of people, like you guys, teach at your Chamber of Commerce, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people teach at their adult school. A lot of people teach at the meetups, you know, or libraries, right? Like you're saying, there's a lot of opportunities for you to teach that are not part of a WordCamp. And just because you applied this year doesn't mean you won't be accepted next year. First of all, like I said, every WordCamp has a flavor,
right?
And the organizers can only be organizers for the lead organizer can only be the lead organizer for 2 years now.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like you're being slighted. Sometimes it's just they have
there's only so many people they can accept each year.
Yeah, and they really want to accept the local people because that's what it's supposed to be doing. There's this. I think, I don't know officially, but I'm pretty sure there's a percentage of local and new speakers that they want.
Yeah.
Because that's what you should have, you know. And then sometimes I think that they have an idea of what wants to happen. Like Miami had a JavaScript track because of Matt Mullenweg telling people they should learn JavaScript at the state of the word. So, right. So JavaScript isn't WordPress, but it isn't not Word. You know, they work together or whatever. I don't code. It's better together, like Jack Johnson said.
There you go.
So once you've volunteered, so it's going. There's volunteering, there's speaking, and then there's organizing, and that's the really hard, thankless job that so many of our friends near and dear spend a lot of their time organizing and finding the venues and getting budgets and getting speakers and blah, blah, blah.
But it's worth it. It's worth it for these events because it's so many people find so much value in going to WordCamp, you know, and like for you, it's even life-changing.
It's literally life-changing.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a job. I didn't go to WordCamp to get a job in WordPress.
Yeah.
I just
got
wanted
one
to
anyway.
level up my skills. Because a lot of these jobs for social media people want you to learn Photoshop and want you to be a web coder and like they want you to be everything.
Yeah.
Not just, you know what a social media person is not. This is not a content writer, right? Even though we know that social media is content, so that we think of social media as like the platforms. And then there's the content writing. And then if you're writing content, a lot of times you're putting it in a site that's WordPress.
Right.
That's
so you need to know at least a little bit. Yeah.
You should be somewhat familiar with it. You know, now we do client work and I'm like in Beaver Builder and Advanced Custom Field. And I don't know what's going on. It's all the stuff that I never thought I needed to learn.
Yeah. And you're learning it. And it all started with a WordCamp.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, so for me, like I said, I didn't go to WordCamp to get a job in WordPress.
Yeah.
I just did it because I wanted to meet my friends, and I kept going because we realized it was a good skill set for us to learn as social media managers. And so now that I've been in it more, I'm volunteering more. Like I'm doing the social media for San Diego. I'm doing the social media for LA again in September or whenever it is. I don't know when it is. I don't think it's an official date yet.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I can't recommend it enough. I know that not everybody has a WordCamp, but so if you don't have a WordCamp, you know you can go to WordPress.tv. You can learn everything you want to learn.
Yeah. And you can start your own, you know, there's no reason that you can't.
Yeah.
So we're almost out of, actually we're a little
I think
over.
we're way over.
Yeah.
Bridget talks too much.
No, that's fine. I'm sure it's helpful. So any last words before we sign off about WordCamp?
You should definitely consider going, even if you have to travel. I know that it's expensive if you have to travel, but go, prepare, follow people on Twitter, bring an open mind, bring a notebook, bring your computer and an extra battery, and then make some friends and learn some stuff.
Bring an open heart.
Bring an open heart. Yeah, for sure. I mean, definitely you don't want to be that person handing out business cards. It's just not compatible.
Yeah.
If you want to learn from the most generous, smart people, then you're going to go to a WordCamp.
Yeah. There you go.
And then be generous in return.
Yeah, exactly.
2 hours later.
So we did it. We did it. So if people want to find you, where can they find you? Where are you existing on the interwebs? Where are your different websites and so forth?
Well, just go to BridgetWillard.com. I made a landing page on Beaver Builder that will direct you to GiveWP or WordImpress.com.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, we make the best donation plugin for WordPress.
There you go. Yeah. And they really do, and it's really easy to use. Yeah. And we used the Give plugin to make a site for my friend and raise thousands of dollars in a week. So it really does work. There you go. Thanks so much for being on, Bridget. I really appreciate it. And as soon as this recording is done, I will make a blog post, send it, tweet it, share it. It'll be everywhere.
Go to WordCamp, yo!
Go to WordCamp. Thank you so much, Bridget.
Thank you.